Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further says, مَا ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. Who has the right to intercede with him without his permission? A very challenging form of speech has been used here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a very powerful form of speech. Who is it? Who will come forward and claim that he is capable of intercession on that day? Who has the right? No one. None has the strength, the capability of interceding with Allah without his permission. إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. This intercession is not unconditional. It comes with two conditions attached to it. Firstly, the one who intercedes is granted the permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do so. Secondly, the one who he intercedes for is granted permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also that he may be interceded for. In Surah Al-Taha, verse 109, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يومئذ لا تنفع الشفاعة إلا من أذن له الرحمن ورضي له قولا. On that day, no intercession shall avail except the one for whom the most beneficent Allah has given permission and whose word is acceptable to him. In Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 28, we come to know, يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ وَلَا يَشْفَعُونَ إِلَّا لِمَنِ ارْتَضَىٰ وَهُمْ مِنْ خَشْيَتِهِ مُشْفِقُونَ. He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and they cannot intercede except for him with whom he is pleased, and they stand in awe for fear of him. The question arises is that why does Allah not pardon those people himself on the day of Qiyamah? What is the point of the intercession? According to Sahih Hadith, on that day, on the day of Qiyamah, the prophets, messengers, the martyrs and the righteous among the Ummah will be granted the capability and permission of intercession. What is the need for it if the final decision is with Allah? Scholars have said that the above-mentioned people were those loved by Allah, but many of them did not get the rightly deserved respect and honor in this world. Most of them faced humiliation and disgrace at the hands of arrogant kings like the Pharaoh. They were mocked and made fun of. So on the day of Qiyamah, they will be given importance, prominence, honor, respect and status in front of all of the makhluqat, all of creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will announce his decisions through them. So who should we trust? Who should we rely on for our salvation on that day? Only Allah. On a day when nothing else and no one else will be able to help us. We come to know from Surah Abasa, it is a day when Yoma yafirru al-mar'u min akhihi wa ummihi wa abihi wa sahibatihi wa banihi likulli imri'in minhum yawma idhin sha'nun yughnihi. The day when one will flee from his brother and from his mother and father and from his wife and sons. Every one of them will be too engaged in his own affairs to care for others. But instead of tawakkul in Allah and making efforts to gain the pleasure of Allah, people sometimes misdirect their efforts to please people. This self-created ideology will lead one on to personality worship, and that is extremely dangerous. The mushrikeen of Makkah, they never claimed that Lat and Manat and Uzza, their idols, were the creators of the universe or the ones who gave life. And no theist claims any such thing either today. However, just like the mushrikeen of Makkah, there are some people who claim that they require someone to intercede on their behalf on that day as intermediaries between them and God, perhaps in the form of grave worship or saint worship, all of which is negated here by Allah. But perhaps that's not you and me. But sometimes, under the pressure of society, or one's spouse, or one's children, or one's job status, position in society, we create demi-gods that we feel obliged to please over and above the limits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly set. Whether it's the way we spend, dress, deal in matters of business, life in general, the places we go, the conversations we have, the food we consume. And perhaps we compromise. No one will come and say, it's okay, Allah, she did this for me. She did this to fit into society, or we did it to secure the dunya for us and our family, or the social circle, or to look a certain way so that we would blend in with the school crowd, or the demands of the rest of the world. Or maybe they'll say at another level, "Oh Allah, we changed our laws so that our country could fit in with the social wave in the world, or the social norms that societies were dictating. But it was the need of the hour, Allah." Will any of this come to help us when it is the hour, the real hour? No. It's that hour that we need to worry about. The hour when no excuses will avail. It was narrated that Sahal ibn Sa'd said, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "I will reach the cistern, either Hawd or the pool of water, ahead of you. He who comes to me will drink, and whoever drinks will never thirst again. There will come to me some people whom I will recognize, and they will recognize me. Then they will be prevented from reaching me. I shall say, 'They are of me,' but it'll be said, 'You do not know what they introduced after you were gone.' So I shall say, 'Away, away with those who changed either religion after I was gone.'" And this is narrated in Bukhari and Muslim. So who should we please? Who should we work to please? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we want the intercession of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then understand it can only be granted with the izn, with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As he says, مَا ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. Who has the right to intercede with him without his permission?